Well, physics is a fundamental science which allows us to understand the nature of energy, the structure of matter, and the physical forces that form our world. And we study in physics the world on a minute scale, for example, by looking at the structure of atoms. And we also study the world on a gigantic scale by pondering on the origins and structure of the universe as a whole. If you're interested in physics, but you want to keep your options open, a good approach for you might be to study physics via the general science route at NUI Galway, because this allows you to study physics in first year and second year in combination with a number of other subjects, but also keep your options open. By the general science route, it is possible to obtain a 4-year accredited physics degree, but you've kept your options open until the end of the second year. Now, in our first year physics course at NUI Galway, the aim is to take a student up to Leaving Cert standard within 1 year. And if you haven't studied physics at Leaving Cert, you shouldn't be at all concerned, because half of our students haven't ever studied physics at Leaving Cert or at any other level before. But what we do in physics in NUI Galway is that we take students in who've done Leaving Cert physics and teach them in one room, and the students who haven't done Leaving Cert physics are taught separately. So we're able to pitch the course perfectly to the requirements of an individual student group. In the first year physics course, you'll have a number of lectures and tutorials, and these will focus on a range of broad physics topics, such, for example, as heat, thermodynamics, electricity, atomic physics, radiation physics, and there are many, many more. And you'll also have a laboratory class every week where you'll get some hands-on experience in using real physics equipment for making physical measurements. And in that class you'll work with a partner or a small group within your class, so it's a good social environment in which to meet other members of your class group. If you go on and study physics in later years, you'll do it in a more in-depth way and you'll study more focused topics, and these may be compulsory modules or optional modules, and some examples of the module titles might be atmospheric physics, environmental physics, optoelectronics, solid-state physics, medical physics, astrophysics. There are many, many examples of those. If you pursue physics right through to fourth year, you will carry out an individual research project where you'll work under the supervision of an academic member of staff in the School of Physics, and you will get experience of what it's like to work in a real research laboratory environment. In physics, we rely heavily on mathematical tools and computational tools, and these are useful in any branch of science or elsewhere. You will also find within physics that we focus very heavily on measuring. Physics is all about measuring and scientific accuracy and scientific description, and the skills that you learn in carrying out these measurements will stand you in good stead for any other science subject that you might study. Physicists are highly numerate individuals, they're experts in problem solving, and they have good computational and mathematical skills, so they're found in very, very many professions. Just to give you some examples of the institutions and agencies and companies that have employed our graduates in recent years, some of those would be Met Éireann, Analog Devices, Ericsson, Intel, Hewlett-Packard, Boston Scientific, Medtronic, and even places like NASA and the European Space Agency, and there are many, many more. Physicists are highly sought in the educational sector also, both at second level and third level within Ireland and elsewhere. And physicists, particularly theoretical physicists, are highly valued in the financial sector and in the banking industry. Some people are intimidated by physics because they have this vision of somebody working at very high level in a white coat and somebody who's got very, very good at maths and uses hard equations. And there is no doubt that there is a mathematical basis to physics, but all the mathematical support that you require in order to do your physics is given to you, both within the subject and in the other subjects that you'll study at NUI Galway, so you shouldn't worry about that. So physics has many, many applications that you may not be aware of. You wouldn't have a microwave, for example, without physics. You wouldn't have a television. You wouldn't have the internet, which is of great importance. So there are many, many inventions and applications in the world which are entirely reliant on physics and physical principles. So if you have a physics degree under your belt, you have the ability to do great things with that.